Hello, ladies and jelly spoons, and welcome back to RT Robotics. I'm sorry, did I leave you for nearly 6 months? Did I leave this channel dormant for nearly 6 months? I am very, very sorry. Well, let me make that up to you. Today's video, we are going to be taking a look at a Walt Disney World's monorail, Disney monorail sort of little toy thing that you can guess. So I had this thing back from Florida. I brought it all the way back from the United States of America years ago. I'm talking way back in the 90s. This was, I'm not sure what year it was, but it was the same year. It was the 25-year anniversary of Disney. So whatever year that was, it might have been 98, it might have been 99. Not too sure. So the first point in this video, I was going to do just a restoration video, clean it up, get it working again, because it wasn't working. It was running very, very dog slow, and it was just all the batteries and everything were rusted away. So that was the first idea to get it going. I managed to get it going, and it just wasn't as impressive as I remember. So here on RC Robotics, what do? We make things better, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it apart, and I'm going to make it remote control. So without further ado, let's get building. So I got this monorail back in around about 1998, 1999. I'm not too sure on the year. But yeah, it was very, very challenging and hard to get hold of. Not many places had them in. I think in the end we ended up finding it in Disney's Epcot. The box has definitely seen better days, but the track and the actual train are in very, very good condition. They basically spent the last 10 years in my dad's attic. This is a little support brace that you can attach both pieces of track to. You just basically one half of the track goes on that half and the other half is the other, and then those pieces of track are connected. My first job was to take out the drive wheels, see what kind of condition they were in, see if they had any crap or foreign object or debris, and they did. The drive wheel, the one there with the orange little tab on the top and the rubber mat, that had plenty of hairs, cat hairs and dog hairs wrapped around it, so I'm not surprised that they didn't want to spin. After cleaning them up, the thing still didn't want to spin, so after even with fresh batteries in, they still didn't want to spin, so I had to open it up and take a look at the gearbox inside. Obviously something was making the gearbox stick inside. So after taking it apart, taking the first and secondary drive gear away, I could see there was a tiny bit of broken plastic inside the worm gear, and this is what was stopping the actual gears from turning. So after taking that tiny bit of plastic away, putting some fresh batteries in, I pushed the switch, and sure enough, it started to move, but it's not moving fast at all. And I remember when we first got this thing, it used to move really, really quickly. It used to go around the track in just a couple of seconds. And so obviously something is still wrong. So I took it apart again, and then I swapped the motor out. So the motor was just feeling a little bit, just burnt out. So I found this old radar-controlled car, and I thought I'd take the motor out of that and put it in the monorail, as it was the same size motor. Sure enough, it was still going the same speed, so I think the problem is either with the internal resistance of the craft or just the main control board, the main board. So I decided to then make it remote control. So I took apart an old quadcopter that had one channel, just a one-channel quadcopter, just throttle, took the flight controller out, wired it up to the motor, and then I mounted the flight controller at 45 degrees to fool the flight controller into thinking it was tilting forward. And this was a result. A monorail that goes nice and quick around the track, and I can control it with my own independent remote control. The remote control is actually infrared, so I had to leave a little gap at the front of the monorail, but that actually worked out even better, because instead of the two little front LED lights, now I have this special little light bar around the front of the monorail. And as you can see, it's going a lot quicker than it was with the original crappy little electronics in it. And not only that, but I can independently control stop the train, and I can also vary the speed. At this point of filming, I had actually broke the trigger on the controller, so controlling the variable speed wasn't that easy, as I was sort of pushing it down with my nail and it was hurting. But I'm definitely just gonna either glue the trigger back together or just take something else apart which has got the same size trigger in it and just pop a new trigger in it. But as you can see, I'm extremely happy with how this thing turned out. It's going much, much quicker around the track. And yeah, as I say, if you were, if you build one of these things as a model around your garden, or if you were to build a little model around your workshop,
You could independently control the speed, start-stop into stations and things that are built, because you can buy stations for these monorails that look like the Disney hotels and all the the attractions and things. So if you got one of these monorails yourself, that is something you could do. So this was the battery hatch. As you can see, I've sanded away the bottom edge that separates the two AA batteries there, also, so it can accommodate a 250 milliamp hour battery and also a 600 milliamp hour battery. With the 250 milliamp hour battery, I was getting around about 4 to 5 minutes of runtime, and the flight controller does have a low voltage cutoff, so it will just stop working once the battery runs flat. But I got 4 or 5 minutes out of a 250 milliamp hour battery, so I'm guessing a 600 milliamp hour battery would give you at least 8 or 9 minutes of runtime. And even with the lithium polymer battery, there's still plenty enough room to fit the battery hatch on there, so you can't tell that it's any different to any other monorail. So to sum up, I'm extremely happy with how this thing turned out. I wasn't too sure if I was going to be able to make it remote control in the end, but yeah, it turned out really well, and it's going its exact speed that it should be going now, and I can independently control it with a controller, so I'm a very, very happy bunny. Thank you very much for joining us here again on RC Robotics. If you like this content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's just there in the corner. And if you'd like to see any more of my videos, I will pop them in any free available corner. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.